What we got here is some Fearless Broadcasting news, and Fearless Broadcasting is brought to you by members of 12160.org, the best anti-New World Order social network site on the internet. And you can find more information about that at fearlessbroadcasting.info. And what we have here is troops randomly patrol streets in Pittsburgh, respond to domestic disputes. And this was reported by Paul Joseph Watson at prisonplanet.com. Americans are once again being conditioned to accept the sights of troops patrolling the streets and dealing with domestic law enforcement issues under the pretext of National Guard soldiers helping recovery efforts after the deluge of snow that has hit the East Coast. The same soldiers just months ago were also helping authorities and brutalizing innocent people during the G20 summit in Pittsburgh. And if you remember, they rolled out the sound weapons, the same things that they use in Iraq, on the American people. We will begin to have National Guard patrol our neighborhoods to deal with any issues that come up, Pittsburgh Mayor Luke Rosenstahl announced on the afternoon news conference. So, city residents, he added, be advised you will begin to see National Guard Humvees in some of your neighborhoods beginning this evening. And this was at a press conference. They're just announcing it. And it goes on here to say the use of National Guard soldiers to provide aid in emergency situations is perfectly reasonable measure, but when those troops start to randomly patrol the streets and work with cops in dealing with domestic disputes and any issues that come up, that's a pretty broad scope there. Any issues that come up. Oh my God, and that sets a dangerous precedent, especially considering the fact that less than 5 months ago the same troops were working with the Army and the Air Force to conduct crowd control duties and run military checkpoints during the G20 summit. Indeed, Pittsburgh Guardsmen kept themselves busy helping troops, military, and multi-agency task force teams to abduct protesters off the streets, attack and terrorize peaceful demonstrators, and inflict LRAD torture weapons on innocent bystanders during the martial law showcase last September. The troops had previously been deployed in support of military operations around the world under the banner of the War on Terror. U.S. troops have been training for this eventually for a considerable amount of time. During numerous urban warfare drills, as well as taking over public buildings and running checkpoints during role-playing exercises, actors playing prisoners would scream, "I am an American citizen, I have rights," as they're being dragged away by the troops. And I've seen these videos on these police state videos that have been put out. You do a search for police state, the takeover, police state 3, total enslavement. Governor Rendell, along with Mayor Luke Rosenstahl, have both breached the oath they swore to preserve and protect the Constitution. These men should be locked up and arrested, in my humble opinion. And the Raw story reported, Daniel Tenser over there wrote, Virginia delegates passed bill banning chips implants as mark of the beast. Concerns over privacy have aligned with apocalyptic biblical prophecy in a proposed Virginia law that limits the use of microchip implants on humans because of the lawmakers' concern that the chips will prove to be the Antichrist mark of the beast. On Wednesday, Virginia House of Delegates passed a bill that forbids companies from forcing their employees to be implanted with tracking devices, a move likely to be applauded by civil libertarians. But Virginia State Delegate Mark Cole's reasons for proposing the law have as much to do with the Book of Revelation as they do with concerns over privacy in a digital age. It says here, radio frequency identification, RFID implants are currently the prime candidate for this beastly technology, says the Riding the Beast blog. But Cole says that his constituents have brought the issue to his attention. He says people are concerned that chip implants will replace employee ID badges in offices. And some of these government offices they already have. If passed in full legislation, Virginia will become the fourth state in the U.S. to have such a law. California, Missouri, and Georgia have all passed a similar measure or are working to pass one. Momentum behind microchip implants have been building for years. Perhaps most significantly, Florida-based Verichip introduced an implant in 2001 that can store medical data. The FDA approved the technology for use in humans in 2004. Yeah, so this is approved. They are setting it up. They're using it as a, right now, VIPs, government officials, high-ranking security classes. Some people are being forced, in order to keep their jobs, to use these RFID microchip implants. Jesse Ventura has a new book coming out, American Conspiracies. Former Minnesota Governor Jesse Ventura takes his investigation into government secrets and corruption even deeper with his new book, American Conspiracy. Ventura goes even further than his hit True TV series, Conspiracy Theory, to investigate the lies, and dirty lies told by government and related entities. And it will be interesting to see what Jesse Ventura will be bringing to this book, and I'm sure it will sell millions and millions of copies. His hit TV show on True TV, millions of people have already watched that, and that has brought some serious corruption issues to the forefront, including stuff about 9/11 and other stuff that isn't a theory. It's a real conspiracy, and it's not a theory if you can prove it. I've said that over and over again. And there's a lot of stuff happening in this movement over at 12160.org. And there's all kinds of shows going up at Fearless Broadcasting. And we've got the Saturday night roundtable discussion meetings. There's links up right there at 12160.org for you to get involved in this info war. I mean, we have to stop these people from implementing this microchipped one world government, this new world order, this society control grid. And, all the time we're under attack, and we must be vigilant about this. They're putting troops on the street, foreign troops on the streets also. And these reports come out over and over again. So stay tuned to the podcast, fearlessbroadcasting.podomatic.com. Stay in touch over there at 12160.org, because there's a lot of stuff going on. There's Friday night show going on over there, and you can check all that stuff out live on Friday and Saturday nights. And there's a schedule up at fearlessbroadcasting.info, but there's more information right at the Fearless Broadcasting banner at 12160.org. So please join us today in the info war, because together we will make a difference. I want to thank you for listening to the Fearless Broadcasting News.